Reyna Gold is really the brainchild of Peter. When we did the deal with Peter for MAG for Reyna Silver back in 2018, he said to Hoy and myself, look, we should do gold exploration as well. Like, gold exploration, particularly in northwestern Mexico, is just wide open. We'll go into it in a little bit more detail shortly, but this is something we've been working on behind the scenes while Reyna Silver has been going along. We started trading on Tuesday, the 11th of January, on the TSX-V under the ticker REYG. So, look, we've put together four properties on the two big gold trends in northwestern Mexico that come down from the US. We've got over 57,000 hectares. Team is led by Peter and Doug, just like at Reyna Silver. We have great local Mexican geologists on the ground, hired from all the majors, Fresnillo, Agrincoligo, Alamos Gold. We also have the beauty of having some great other geologists on the board. Steve Robertson, who's joined from Imperial Metals, but he's working with us on a couple of projects, which I think is coming up later. He's on the board. And we also have Cacho Molina, who was running core mining in Mexico until 2020 on the board, also a geologist, knows the area very well. And then we're well funded, a lot of the same shareholders as Reyna Silver. We raised $3.1 million privately. We went to the market in August, wanted to raise $5 million. We raised $10.5 million just because we got offered so much money. We didn't want to turn it down. Great shareholders came in. I'll go through in shortly who some of them are. But yeah, we're delighted to be well funded and now really starting exploring. We've been working on our flagship property since August. We will start drilling in February, and we want to get results out to the market ASAP. And as you'll see, it's pretty simple drilling. And the intention is hopefully to get results out fairly soon and really advance the La Gloria project during the course of 2022. And then we'll see where we are. You'll see the portfolio we have is really, really quite exciting. All four of the properties we really want to get to work on and start advancing. So look, why we focus on northwestern Mexico? Like I said, it's really Peter's brainchild. He knows the area very well. He's from Arizona, and he's been operating in Mexico for I don't know how long, 30 or 40 years. I think Lauren can probably tell us. I think it's good to take a little history lesson. If we go back in time, this part of the world was actually, California, Arizona, and Nevada was part of Mexico until the Mexican-American War in 1848. You then had what was a massive gold rush into that part of the world once it became owned by the Americans. You had about 300,000 people come in from all over the world and really mass exploration, originally in California, then moved over to Nevada. And about 5% of the world's gold was found in this part of the world. 5% of the gold ever found has come from this part of the world. Nevada continues to produce about 5% of global gold supply every year. So it's really a powerhouse. But yet, across the border in Mexico, you've got a fraction. Now, why is this? Fascinating question. And really, like so many things, it comes down to politics. The original gold rushes of the 1840s, 1850s were not welcome in Mexico. Mexico was pretty fresh from its independence from Spain in 1821. It got invaded twice from the Americans and the French, and really was pretty wary about letting in a lot of people. We got some American inflow in the 1800s. Our Batapilas project at Reyna Silver is a prime example of that. Was owned by an American, listed on the New York Stock Exchange, developed into an amazing mine. And then you had the Mexican Revolution of 1910, 1911, and all the foreign capital cut off, and really was cut off until NAFTA in 1994. But since NAFTA, you've had a lot of inflow. You've had the likes of Agrincoligo, Gold Corp, First Majestic, Equinox Gold more recently, Ross Beatty. Ross went in with Pan American. A lot of very good mining companies have gone in this part of the world and make a lot of money. So that's the concept. That's what Peter's really flagged to, particularly Jorge and myself, and what we've been working on behind the scenes, putting together. And we put together a land package, a portfolio of land packages that we're really quite excited about. There's a combination of these big disseminated gold systems and also high grade quartz systems, which we'll get into. But you can see just on the slide, on the right side, of the slide, this part of the world, northwestern Mexico, Sonora and Chihuahua produces about 50% of Mexico's gold. And, Mexico, I think, is the 8th or 9th biggest producer in the world. So it's a very rich area now, but still compared to across the border in the US, really relatively underexplored and relatively not understood by the geologists to the same extent. So that's the opportunity, and that's what we're focused on here at Reyna Gold. So here's the capital structure. We have 66 million shares on issue. A number of major funds have come in. Philip Middle Coop, Tobias Tretter, Larry Lepper, Jeremy Bond, all quite famous in the sector. Their funds have come in. Andrew Bilingual and a number of other quite resource exploration-focused funds. So we've got great shareholders. We also have 13 million warrants on the box at 65 cents, which will bring another 8.5 million if exercised. So we're well funded and really ready to explore, and really looking forward to the next couple of years. I won't go through this slide in too much detail. I think everyone is very familiar with Peter and Doug. Doug is also very passionate about the project. As soon as Doug is based in Thailand, as soon as he had his second shot of Pfizer, he was on the plane to La Gloria, did a great site visit. Actually, the first day he was there, he called me up and he said, Michael, we need to hire more people. Like, there's so much potential here. Like, you need to get more boots on the ground. And we've hired more people. We've expanded the team, and it was great having Doug involved along with Peter. Both amazing geologists, but still so passionate about their work. They love it. They just love being out, exploring, unlocking these puzzles. It's a real buzz for these guys. So this is the management and some of the senior advisors. I think you're probably familiar with most people on this slide. One person I just mentioned is Ketcher Molina. He was the one from Core Mining. It's great to get Ketcher involved. He knows the area very well, the people in the area very well, so he gives great guidance to the team. Hidel Garcia has come in. He's the exploration manager at La Gloria. He was working for Fresnillo up the road at La Herradura, which is the biggest gold mine in Mexico, and has also worked at the property right next door to us, El Chinate. So we're really delighted with the team. And then we have Steve Leckman as well, who's an advisor. I'm on the board of Cassiar Gold. He's the chairman there. So it's great to have his guidance as well. So this is the property package. We have the 4 properties. The focus is La Gloria, and I think today we'll just focus on La Gloria as we're short of time. La Gloria is a little bit similar to a lot of this area. It's been relatively underexplored. Really was only explored from 2006 to 2013, and with limited capital. The people that had it before, High Vista Gold, did about 13,000 meters of drilling. The average depth of those drill holes was 69 meters. And about 5,000 samples were done. So, they've given us a good indication of where to look on the property. We've got a number of targets from their work, and we'll show you in more detail what we've been doing. But we put out initial results this week, and we had samples up to 93 grams per ton from a quartz vein, and we had up to 46 grams per ton from a shear zone. So delighted with the initial work that our team is doing, and I think really showing that they're taking the property to a whole new level. And we're really excited to start moving forward towards drilling starting next month. The property is, we believe, a large disseminated gold system, just like the La Herradura, Mesquite, on the trend, hosted in the same kind of rocks, metasedimentary rocks. So, delighted to have the property and really looking forward to advancing it over the next, we really want to advance as much as we can in 2022, but over the next couple of years and see what kind of deposit we can build up. Adurazno is also a substantial land package, 24,000 hectares, right in the heart of the Mojave Sonora Megashire. Again, delighted to have this property, and we'll get to that. And the plan is to start to get that advanced in the latter part of 2022. And then the final 2 projects are 2 that Peter's put together over the previous few years with his team. Very prospective properties, good sample grades already. And again, really looking forward to getting to work on these properties over the next year or 2. So look, this is La Gloria. It's on the Mojave Sonora Megashire, which extends down from California into northwestern Mexico. You can see across the border, we have the Mesquite mine, which is now operated by Equinox Gold. Equinox are also bringing online the Castle Mountain project. Oh, sorry, they've already brought it online. The Castle Mountain project, also on the trend, also a substantial deposit. And then La Herradura is the biggest gold mine in Mexico. Almost 16 million ounces have been discovered at La Herradura. Fresnillo produce about 500,000 ounces a year from the deposit and keep ticking it over to 10, 12-year mine life. It's been operating since 1994. Still has a 12-year mine life on the books. It's a monster open pit, goes down about 1.1 kilometers. So that's really the prize. We're right by El Chinate as well. That's literally 2 kilometers down from our property. 1.7 million ounces were mined out of that property over 12 years. So really focus on the core, the middle part of this trend, which we call the Caborca Gold Belt from El Chinate up to La Herradura. So here, zooming in into the Gloria property. The team has these two regional faults mapped running parallel across the property, up on trend from Alcinelli up to La Herradura. We've got about 40 historic workings in and around the faults, numerous gold showings. There's a lot of gold at surface. I think that the sampling results, which I'll get into shortly, show the amount of gold at surface. And we really now want to start looking below the surface and understanding the system or systems. There could potentially be multiple systems on this property. It's 24,000 hectares, a big property. And the understanding is we've had both orogenic and intrusive style mineralization on the property. So looking really to understand the property a lot better and unlock the gold systems. We've got 11 targets identified to date, really focused on the main zone, which we've broken down into three areas: Pique Verjo, La Quintas, Pique Verjo, Big Pit, and Plasters. Then there's all different styles of mineralization. The Big Pit is the shear zone running across the north of the property, west to east. Pique Verjo is a collection of quartz veinings. That's where we got the 93 grams per ton sample. And then Plasters is intrusive style mineralization. We also have stockwork mineralization up at Republicana, very interesting part of the property up to the north of the main zone. And we definitely want to test the shear zone. We believe it runs east into El Sombrero and potentially west into that kind of gap between western and main zone. And then down at La Quintas West, San Pedro, down here at the bottom of the western fault, we also have a lot of quartz veinings. And there's a potential that actually the quartz veinings runs basically from Pique Verjo, which is here, all the way down here. But that's still to be tested. So, look, we're really excited, and we're delighted with our initial sample results, which we released when we started trading on Tuesday. We got up to 93 grams per ton from a quartz vein at Pique Verjo, 36 grams per ton. Both of these are basically vertical veins. The 96 gram one, a fully vertical vein is 360 degrees. The 93 gram one is 352. The 36 gram one is, I think, 324. So we're definitely preparing to drill both of these veins. Then we also got very high grade at the shear zone, which was really, we were not expecting. 46 grams per ton, 20 grams per ton, amazing grade. And you can see here, just from the shear zone, the Big Pit area, almost 80% of samples came back with gold. Now, above 0.1, but that's in the ballpark in this part of the world. These are all heap leachable deposits. Mesquite runs at about 0.5 grade. La Herradura is 0.7. San Francisco about 0.4. The 0.1 is in the ballpark. That's very economic, particularly at these current gold prices. And if gold goes higher, even better. So we're delighted with the initial results. Really want to start now getting on and showing the market drilling. We'll start on the shear zone here at Big Pit. It's basically from surface, the shear zone, so it's going to be pretty simple drilling. We'll start there, and then we'll also start down at Pique Verjo with these high-grade quartz veins. But so much work to do. Like I said, like Doug said, there's just so much potential in this property. Just in the main zone, which is 160 hectares, 1.6 square kilometers, we have three different styles of mineralization. Now, why? What's caused these changes? We're fascinated to explore more between the Big Pit and Pique Verjo, and understand the system. I mean, really, I think a good description is the team is fascinated by the property, and we really want to understand a lot better. And we're delighted to have the capital and the expertise to do so. One interesting data point is the previous operators, they did 5,000 samples. The highest sample they ever got was 8.9 grams. So, immediately we've blown that out of the water with a range of very high samples. So kudos really to the technical team. How am I doing for time? 1 second. I can't actually see with the clock, Greg. Where's the? Oh, I'm done.
You're done. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let me quickly. Sorry. So this is a Big Pit. The high grade stuff to the west. The historic work was based in the trenches, so you can see we're definitely going to explore more there, and we think the trend continues down to the west. And then, we want to start drilling. Well, I think everybody in this market wants to see drill results. We want to show them drill results. So, we're prepared to start drilling. The intention was always to start drilling around the time we went public. It was a subscription receipt financing. We didn't want to drill before, and now we're public. We're preparing to drill. So we should start drilling middle of February, and hopefully we can start getting results out April, May time. There's a lab in Caborca, like 20 kilometers away. So hopefully we can move pretty quick, but we'll see. And just great to be on the market, great to be out in the public, and really excited about what we have.